Hello, 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 brothers. It is I, Dr. Perry, and welcome to What Up Wednesday. And I am so glad to be coming back to you guys live after this brief hiatus. Hopefully, you guys are doing well during this time. We're still somewhat in a state of quarantine. I'm going to give you guys a chance to come on in and join us. But we have some updates for you guys, and I want to bring you up to speed on everything that's been going on in my life personally, professionally, entrepreneurially, spiritually. We're not going to make this long, but I don't know about you guys, but this has really been a time of real purpose and really just getting down and getting things done. I have, you all know, you guys have been supporting us for a long time, and there were so many irons in the fire, and sometimes you kind of feel like as if, are you really making, sufficient enough traction in any singular thing? And I have personally been using this time during the COVID to really dial in to and prioritize everything that I had on my plate, so that just to have a sense of accomplishment and purpose. And so share, invite, the whole nine yards. I'm going to make some introductions today. We have some really good things going on in the Marked Man. And because I've had this time off, you all know that I injured myself at work, and that I've been off, with COVID, everything, my therapy and stuff was pushed back, and I just started back therapy. And so I've really been able to get back to my art grind, to forge, back to the Marked Man, to Marriage Impossible. And by the grace of God, this time has been well used. And so anyway, me personally, I released my app, right? That's what's up with me. I released my app a couple of weeks ago. Started, hey, Brother Marcus, what's happening? Started running ads for my app across social media platforms. I started the drawing. Many of you guys may follow me here on Facebook and have seen the announcements of the Kids Zone. And just by starting that little forward momentum, doors have already opened. I'm in talks with a major toy company to do a series of private lessons for the children of the employees of the artists that work at this toy company. And that's just because I decided to give, right? I started the Kids Zone just as an effort to give of my talent and allow an outlet during the shelter in place for kids to learn how to draw. And granted, there's nothing new about that, right? There was no expectation, no anticipated return on time investment. Just doors started opening. And so the major toy company contacted me, and they want to pay me to do private courses for their kids, because they foresee this going on much longer. And so it's, just that to encourage you to get moving on some things. Even like with my app, I have I procrastinated with releasing it. I'll be honest with you. It was new territory for me. It was something that I had never done before, and I just took that leap, man. This is a time for leaping. Okay, use this time wisely, brothers. This is a time for leaping into the purpose that God has called you for. If you have anything, that you want to get done, now is the time to do it, because we're still, you can think, you can process. The rat race has been slowed down a bit, right? And I regardless of what happens in the future, I can honestly say that I am currently content with some of the things that have been transpiring. And so yeah, the app is out. People have been downloading it. That's a big thing. I didn't do it for hey, Rich, what's happening? I didn't do it with any anticipation, which may be a mistake on my part, right? We should expect good things to come from our efforts and from our commitment. But quite honestly, you guys, if you guys follow me on any other platforms, you know that I keep it 100. And so I don't speak to you guys from the mountaintop. I speak to you exactly from where I am in this moment. And for me, it was a huge confidence booster when people actually started downloading my app, man, and and leaving comments and inboxing, man, I downloaded the app, it's great, blah blah blah, And so if you have something on your heart, you have something in your arsenal, release it to the world. Release it to the world. It does you no good to sit and ponder over it and to sweat. And you may not have everything figured out, but guess what? Things tend to move forward as you move forward. And that's the truth. I have recently, I'm in talks with a national organization right now for a video game. They want me to help them do a video game. And so, just good things from Forward Momentum. Forge that I'm doing with my son Jordan, and there'll be an update on that in a little bit. We are in the process of looking for a facility. My son has been killing it in the personal training, and I'm jumping back into the personal training saddle and starting to take clients. And I created that. Everything I create is to leave to my kids. And the fact that he's right now taking the reins and growing it, why I grow these other things, because he knows it's all going to be theirs anyway, right? Whatever it is at its completion, it's for them in mind. It's for legacy. And so on that point, I want to take time. I've started investing, right? I've started investing. And hey, Dan, what's happening? I've started investing. And if you're anything like me, I know nothing about investing, right? But I do know the importance of it and really taking control and having agency over your financial future. And it's funny, yeah, he's killing Forge, right? And so it's really funny that now that we are we're in full motion with making things happen. I'm still reading my 4 books a month, right? I'm reading a great book by Tony Robbins and another book on stock market investing. But it's funny, it came across my feed a brother of mine, and I call this brother my brother. He was there in the onset when I started Marriage Impossible with my wife, and he and his lovely wife, they've become family. And so when I call you a brother, that's for life, right? And so my brother started just making some real boss moves. I mean, boss moves, right? And so it was funny because I saw that he had made a significant profit. And I'll let him talk about his process and where he is in his journey. Because the beautiful thing about it, if you know anything about the marked man, we're not at the point right now where we're focusing on inviting brothers that are at the top, the absolute elite of their game. It really is about the journey. And we want you all to jump in at this stage of the journey. It's like what I tell people who follow me on my art platforms. You might want to get me now while you can, right? Because I'm moving forward. You understand? And this brother is moving forward aggressively, man. He's making real estate moves. He's making stock market moves. And it really is about being able to tap into the information that's available to you via your network. And that's really what the marked man is. Just so we're clear as we move forward with the vision, we're coming to you guys with podcasts. Billy is going to be on the podcast, him and Jordan. We're going to have roundtables. We're going to have guests, right? We're going to be giving you guys pertinent information because as the tagline that God gave me illustrates, it's good men helping good men be better men, period. You understand? Good men helping good men be better men, right? And so we're going to be covering everything across the spectrum. Fitness, faith, family, finances, right? How to handle a difficult kid or a teenager or, buying your first house or investing. We're going to cover all of that, man, because I have been so blessed to have a network that is more knowledgeable than me in many cases. I have been overcredited with being I actually had to Google it because I didn't know what it meant, but someone else for like the 3rd time in the past few months called me a Renaissance man, right? Because of all the things that I do. And I knew it was a compliment, but I didn't exactly know what it meant, right? So me and my wife are in a car, and I Googled it, and it started with Leonardo da Vinci. And it's the perception of someone that's good at many things, right? And though I am good at many things, I would never call myself that because I think my greatest strength is connecting with people that are better at other things than I am, right? And gleaning from that knowledge. And that's what the marked man is about, right? It was never intended to be just me. It was never intended to be just me. But I know as in all things, there has to be a figurehead. There has to be someone that kind of sets the tone and the pace, right? Kind of sets the culture. And so it's me, right? But make no mistakes, it's by committee. And all of you, no matter where you are, I see Dan Arts is here. I see Richard Mason. I see Marcus Davis. Dan is a pit master. I'm going to have Dan on the podcast and on here live because it's summer, right? And everybody's breaking out their grills. And so, Dan, if you are watching, just know you will be getting a call from me to be here on the Marked Man, because it covers everything to help other brothers be better. And so with that being said, I'm bringing in a brother that has helped me be better over the past few years, my brother Billy. And hello, Billy Clement. Welcome to the Marked Man. I'm so glad you joined us. Hey, man, what's happening?
I'm glad to be here, man. Thank you so much for having me, man. I
appreciate
this platform.
Bruh.
Thank you, man.
The platform is built with you in mind. I mean, like I said, you've always been one of those resources that I've depended on, since we first met with Marriage for Real, right? Which is now Marriage Impossible.
Right. I remember those days.
Yeah, I know, right? And the beautiful thing, you've always been an encouragement. You've been a huge supporter. When I've doubted myself, listen, brothers, you got to have somebody in your circle, right, that believes in you when you don't believe in you. And that's the truth. That's just real talk, okay? That's just real talk.
Yes.
It's easy to fake the funk like we always got it together and that we're always on our square and that we're always moving at 100%. But ask anybody who's done anything, that's a lie from the pit of hell. That's the truth. We are the average of the 4 people we associate with the most. And you have to really take stock of who's in your circle, who's pouring into you. I know for me personally with Marriage Impossible, and even with my art platforms and Forge, I'm constantly pouring into other people, right? And you kind of get these delusions of grandeur, right? That's a trap, that you are the foremost expert of everything. But it's so important that you have other people that can help pour into you, right? Because eventually you're going to end up empty. And Billy, you've been that for me.
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
Hey, I try to help whenever I can, and just being able to get the knowledge that I get and just share it with people. I think we get to a point sometimes where we're so successful. Kind of what you said, like, catch me now before I take off, because once I take off,
right,
it's gonna be hard.
Right,
it's gonna be hard for you to get in touch with me. But I feel like there's so many successful people out there that they just don't share the information. You know what I mean? Like, I think people just lack knowledge. Once you give them the knowledge, I honestly feel like people just take off. You know what I mean?
Right.
And the same thing with just like being in stock or being in real estate. Like, all it took for me just to know how, and I was able to do it. Nobody pushed me. Nobody like pulled me. Like, it's just literally tell me how and why and how to get there. And I just just follow. You just follow the plan. If somebody already done it, all you gotta do is just follow that same path.
It's a script to it.
Yeah,
it's a script to it, and seriously, most people don't realize that. I've said, I don't know if I said it here before, but it really is true. And I use the analogy of gyms, right? Of like LA Fitness, right? Gym franchises. They make their money because they know every year in January, a flood of people are coming in with their New Year's resolutions.
They set up goals for the New Year's.
Man, everyone wants to get in shape. They want to look sexy. And another peak time is right before spring, right? People want to get their summer bodies.
Summer body.
Yeah, and so they have this influx of new clients and people signing up, but they know that 97% of the people aren't going to follow through. They know that, right? And it's not a secret. It's not some elite club. It's the committed. It's those that are learning, and they don't make money off of me. I actually did the numbers, right? When you toss in how much water I use when I flush their toilets, when I'm drinking, every time I open the door, when I use a toilet paper when I'm in there, right? They hate me to see me coming because I'm in there 5 to 6 days a week, so they ain't making no money off of me. You understand? They're losing money, but they know the other 97% that's gonna disappear after a week for 8 months.
That's actually a great point, man.
Yeah.
Even when it comes to wealth building, I feel like people feel like I should be able to do it overnight. Like, it doesn't happen overnight. Like, right. when somebody pops up and say, "Hey, I made $1 million," most people think like he just made $1 million today. Right. They don't see all the work that he done over the years. You know what I mean? You don't see all the late nights, the studying, the no sleeping, and all that stuff. Think about also the gym. The gym is the perfect example to see people who are not committed to their goals, right? Because it's like, you come in January 1st, I'm going to lose 30 pounds by the end of the month. They're going for a day or two. They don't see no result. They be like, "Oh, I'm done." Right. They pull back. But it's like, they don't know, like, you have to go when nobody's cheering you out. You have to be there when nobody's telling you what to do. Like, those nights when you all by yourself in your own brain, those are what counts, because you show up for yourself when nobody else show up for you. And the
I love
same thing with
that.
the wealth building. Like you got to be there for yourself, man. Like people are gonna doubt you. People are gonna say, even when I started trading stocks, like people was like, oh, it's gambling. You just throwing money away and all this stuff. I made more money in stock in one day than I made in my job in 3 months, and that's real
See,
talk.
that's real talk. And that's real talk. I mean, because we're reading the same books, right? And we're following
Right.
the same people. And when you start down these paths of thought, these thought chains, you start to realize that it's very systematic and formulaic. There are no
It's the
secrets,
simple way.
right? You get into one course, chances are that course is a compilation of 3 other courses that somebody else did that,
Right.
and nothing's new. Nothing's new. It's
Nothing's
very
new.
systematic. And the reason they call them the 1% is because they know, or the 3% or whatever, they know that 97% won't do it. It's not that they can't, they won't.
Exactly.
It's
Exactly. And
that they won't.
that goes back to the analogy of the gym. Like
Mm-hmm.
97% of people would not be willing to do the work.
Yeah.
All you have to do is the work. Do the work. You know the knowledge.
Right.
As soon as you get that, you just gotta do the work. You know what I mean? And that's what hurts a lot of people. Is like even like I'm not immune to it. I mean, all my 20s, I knew about stock. I knew about all these things, but
Right.
I didn't want to do the work. I was like, no, I don't want to do the work. It's too
Who
much.
does it in their 20s, except for those exceptional ones, right? You know what I mean? Those ones that had dads that weren't us, that were like
Right.
that were forward thinking, But
Right.
if you just grew up a typical kid, we weren't thinking about that kind of stuff, man. We weren't thinking about that kind of stuff.
No.
But listen, I really want
Nope.
you to share with them because I know, and I want you to tell the brothers really. Tell them your story, all the way back from Africa. Tell them your story, man, your journey to this place. And it really is about the story. You understand? Because
They
a lot
have
of
all
people,
the time they need. They
bruh, just give them some points about the story, man. Because that's where the buy-in comes in. I think a lot of people, when they hear this stuff, they don't realize that everyone's going through something. Everyone has a trial. Everyone has a journey to get to a certain point. But we get so caught up in our own point. We get so caught up in where we are, right? And wherever that is, right? Good place, bad place, indifferent, whatever. We get caught up
Right.
and self-centered, and we realize that we forget to realize that other people have had journeys similar, if not more exceptional than ours, right? More difficult than ours, and we're still able to turn it around. Share your story with the brothers here at the Mark, man.
All right. So I don't know if you guys can hear it, but I have a little accent. Some people don't. They say I don't have accent, but I do have an accent. It's not as thick, but I was born in South Sudan. And my life, I feel like my life is like in stages, right? So stage one, I'm a war survivor. So there's a civil war. 4 years old, who survived that. I almost died. My mom and my brother and all this stuff, running through the jungle, ducking bullets and all stuff. And when I say ducking bullets, I literally mean ducking bullets.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's not a cinema stuff. So grew up in South Sudan, moved to North Sudan for a little bit. So when I was 5, going into 6, we moved to Egypt, and that's kind of like started my second phase of my life, right? So my childhood started with this craziness and running around surviving. Moving to Egypt, it's a little bit more stable. From 6 to about 15 years old, I grew up in Egypt. Like I lived in Egypt. I learned how to speak Arabic, learned how to go to school with the Egyptian people and all that good stuff. Endured a lot of different things in there too. There's a lot of things that happen in those northern part of Africa that people don't know about, like in terms of racism and all that stuff. So you got to deal with all of those things, even as a young kid. You know what I mean? So all this thing that's happening today is like, man, I feel like for me, it feels like it's like a roller coaster. Same thing happening over and over and over.
Mm-hmm.
So fast forward, moved to United States as a refugee when I was 16.
Oh wow!
Going to high school was a culture shock, yo.
High school's tough enough as it is, but being a refugee, I can only imagine.
It was a culture shock. Like
yeah.
It was tough, not knowing how to speak English and all this stuff. It was pretty hard. But you know what? I feel like I have God gave me a personality where I'm able to talk to people, and people kind of like me when they talk to me because I'm curious about people. So I
can attest to that.
People sit there and tell me their stories. We start connecting and all that stuff. So high school, even though it was hard, at some part it was pretty easy for me because I was able to make friends real quick. but that kind of helped me with my journey also in even in terms of like fast forward to today, like, being married, 2 kids, you know, building wealth and, getting, having a property and real estate and all that stuff. Like, all of that's helped me because I can literally see somebody on Instagram who's doing it, who's like really in there, like
Right.
making moves and stuff. And the way I approach them, it's like almost they have to drop their guard down and tell me exactly what they're doing. Because I don't come in like, tell me. I'm just coming in and say, hey, look, what is it that I need to do to help you move you forward so I can understand what you're doing? Like, what can I do for you? You know what I mean? Like,
bringing value
really
right off the bat. Just bring value.
Yeah, you
don't come with
bring
an
value.
ask. Come with a give.
Come with the gifts. Like, hey, I'm good at this. Don't slide in that DM asking like, how can I make $10,000 tomorrow? No. It's like, how can I help
How many
you?
of those? How many of those did you get? For those of you who all don't know, Billy made a post on. He had a very good day in the market, and he made a post. And how many people DM'd you right after that post, man?
Yo, I'm still answering. I still have 37 DMs left that I can't even go through yet. I'm still going through it. Like, it's like,
that's hilarious.
God.
We're selfish by nature. People are self-serving by nature. And it's not an indictment to humanity. It's you have to recognize it and you have to check it, right? Only by checking it can you lead with a give, and that's the truth. Right. You know what I mean? If I'm being completely transparent, I know me personally, when someone has something of value that I know can really move the needle in the positive for me, right? I'm eager to get that information, but it's just appropriate as well as righteous to start with a give. What can I do for you first, right? What can I help to move your needle in the positive, And then I find that most people are more receptive and willing to reciprocate.
That's Bible, right?
That's Bible, man.
To give than to receive, right?
Bruh, that's Bible, man. That's scripture, bruh.
And I think people miss that point, man. It literally is just simple. It is better to give than to receive.
It is.
Because the same posture where you give is the same posture you receive. If you always have your hands closed, how you going to receive? You always have the posture of this. Like, I'm giving you what I have.
Right.
And then not expecting anything, but you will receive 10 times, 10x. Like, there's this book by Grant Cardone called 10x.
I love 10x. Great book. I read 10
times more.
Cover to cover. I read it. Great book.
Yep.
Every brother should have that in their library. 10x. The 10x rule. Yes. By Grant Cardone.
It is literally that simple. But I think sometimes people complicate the process, right? Like, the principles to getting wealthy, it's in the Bible.
Right.
And people, like, you can argue me left and right, up and down, but I'm telling you, it's in the Bible.
Right.
The principle of investing is in the Bible. Just read the parable of the talents. Just read that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, just
read that. Have you ever read the book The Richest Man? Have you ever read The Richest Man in Babylon?
Babylon.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
how to fatten thy purse.
Right. I love it. I mean,
but it's like it literally is that, right? Like,
it's that simple.
All the principles that we need to get wealthy is in the Bible.
Yeah.
But people over spiritualize things sometimes when they should literally look at it with the eye. Like, look, this is exactly what it's telling me. Like, if I have these gifts, if I have these talents, I need to somehow let it go, invest it. I can't keep it to myself. If you keep it to yourself, you can't multiply it.
Right.
But if you take it out and invest it, it comes back to you 10 times more. But you have to be willing to let it go.
And what you're saying, I just want to piggyback on that because that's very, very profound. And I think that's going to be a running theme that they're going to hear on our podcast, on our live streams, on my static post, is really the power of the give. People look at at successful entrepreneurs like Gary Vaynerchuk. Well, one of his earliest books was Jab, 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 Right Hook, right? And the 3 jabs were 3 gives. The right hook was the ask, right?
Yep.
Give 3 times more than you ask. Give 3 times more value than you expect to receive. You know, and then you said something else that was very, very key is investing in people, human equity, right? I love when TD Jakes said something powerful. He said, every blessing through God, he's not stepping off his throne to give you anything.
No.
Every blessing that comes from him is going to come through a person. Period.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand? Period. There's a gatekeeper to what you desire. There's a gatekeeper
Exactly.
to what you want to achieve. There's somebody sitting there that has the power to grant or deny access. Be it to
Right.
information, be it to institutions, jobs, whatever that case may be, right? And when you
Right.
invest in people, you get what comes along with people, and people don't understand that. They don't
Exactly.
understand that. Like
Exactly.
yesterday, I was telling you earlier on call that I was at. There's a company that wants me to help spearhead a video game development for them. They're exploring it,
You
and
and do it.
that
You do a lot of stuff, man. You
I
are
know,
the
right?
Renaissance man.
I know, right? But do I come off as all over the place? I'm very cautious that I don't come off as all over the place.
No, you're not all over the place,
Okay.
but it's like all your stuff kind of goes together, right? It's all of creativity. It's all the gifts that you have. So
All
yeah.
right, 'cause just I hold myself. Billy's one of my accountability partners. If ever you feel that I'm erratic and please check me seriously.
I got
Rein
you.
me in. I'm serious. But that whole transaction, this whole conversation to get the ball rolling in this direction came from human equity. It really did. It came from a brother who I invested in, right? Who invested in me, who someone came to him, and the first person that came to his mind was me. You understand? And then they contacted me, and guess what? Another brother here in the Marksman who we're going to have on, Seth, he knows more than me. Once again, be around people who know more than you, right?
Exactly.
But first thing I told him is, I got a guy, right?
There you go.
I can't do all of it, but I got a guy. Let me call my
Right.
guy, right? Right?
Right.
And then that's the power of your network. And and I have invested in each other over the years. And soon as Seth is like, no problem. It's the
Right.
value of human equity, right?
And
Invest
you
in
have to be a
others.
resource, right? Like
Yeah.
I think people miss that point. Like you have to be a resource. Like
Yeah.
if I come to you, even if you don't know how to solve my problems,
Right.
at least try to direct me in the place where I should go. Direct me to the next person that can help me out, right? Because it's
Right.
like if you become a person of resource, people will always come to you. They will always, attract to you because they're like, hey, even though Billy might not know how to do this, he might know somebody who knows how to
Exactly.
do this. He might
Exactly.
connect with somebody. So, and then you become a people connecting. People
Right.
start attracting to you that way. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, and also to put more numbers into it, I think, man, I'm sharing too much. Hold
No,
on.
man. No, man.
So,
Give us the good
so
stuff.
the guy that got me into options, his name is Todd. He runs a company called Todd Capital. Todd Capital.
Right.
He goes by Tad Billion on Instagram. Very cool guy.
Mm-hmm.
So when I purchased he had a course. I basically just bought the course because I was like, hey, I want to know what this option is about,
Right.
right? So I got the course, and man, it's like I applied everything in the course. Like I literally applied every single thing that he taught in the course, and it started working for me. So without him asking me to do
I'm diving into
anything,
that course today, by the way. Just so you know, I haven't
do it,
forgotten.
man.
I haven't
And
forgotten.
I just started sharing my result with people.
Right.
And I never told them I was gonna do that. I just started like, man, yeah, I gotta go check Todd out. Like
You were
this
sharing
course,
something good that blessed you.
yeah. And I was like, this is dope. People
Right.
like were going in there and telling like, and telling, hey, this guy's name Billy is talking about you on Instagram. And this
Mm-hmm.
guy, mind you, man, he has like 30,000-40,000 followers, like
Mm-hmm.
big dude. You know what I mean? So, and he reached out to me via email. He's like, look, man, people keep telling me that you keep referring them to me. Why don't you become an affiliate marketer? And
Right.
that's a whole different
That's a whole different stream right
ballgame that
there.
I can explain
Yep.
to you guys. And I was
Yep.
like, wait, what do you mean? He's like, look, out of every transaction, I'm gonna give you 40% of whatever people buy for the course. I was like, are you serious? He's like, yeah. Then he signed me up, and kid you not, here's the real number. I have to check the real number, the last numbers, but as of last month,
Mm-hmm.
I was over $6,000 in affiliate marketing.
Look at that. Look at that. Just
It's like,
because you're
just
willing to
because,
share with no expectation.
and I told him like, look, dude, I don't even need to get paid for this. He's like, no, you need to get paid for this because I'm a business person, and I know that when people start sharing stuff like that, people
Mm-hmm.
are going to be attracted to you, and
Right.
you build a whole following. They want to know, and I want you to get paid for it. So
Right.
as of last month, I'm telling you, that's only from April to now, $6,000.
So I'm just going to pause you on that
To help
point.
somebody out.
I'm going to pause you on that point. What we're going to do after this live stream, we're going to post a link of Billy's affiliate link if you're interested in the option trading thing. Okay, because that's really what the marked man is about, right? and What Up Wednesdays. Remember, this is the day. I know I've been absentee, but trust me, it's not going to happen again. We're up and rolling for real now. And What Up Wednesday is a chance for you to share, promote the whole 9 yards. You have free course to share anyway, but this is a day specifically if you have something, a financial venture or a project or a course. Right. What Up Wednesday is your time to share it. Okay, you share it to all the brothers, and each one help one. Okay, each one teach one. All right, and so we're gonna have that Billy's affiliate link posted in the description as soon as we get off of here. All right, and trust me, because I'm buying the course. And I'm getting into it because it really is about building legacy and having some agency in my financial future. So good stuff.
And I think we literally live in a time where your 9 to 5 is not enough anymore. Like, you know what I mean? Like you have to, especially if you have kids, man. Like your 9 to 5 is not enough because you can't pass your job to your kids.
Right.
You can't hold that position until your child is older and give them
that
position. You can't.
The people at my current job, which hopefully will be changing soon, all right, because my whole thing is taking control of my family's legacy. But I've told, and some of them are watching, I don't care, all right, but I've said it repeatedly, there's no legacy where I work. The squad car that I drive, I can't leave that to my kids.
Nope.
That piece of tin that you gave me on star on my chest, my kids don't get that. You want that? You're gonna have that back when I leave, right?
Yep.
My gun, you're gonna want that back when I leave. The uniform that I'm wearing, I don't even own it. It's yours. Do you understand? My name ain't on the side of the squad car. My name ain't on the building. There's no legacy there, right? What you're doing is you're providing me a temporary respite until your 9 to 5. If it's not your calling, if it's not your purpose. Now, some people are working in their purpose and they're perfectly content. That's great. If that is you, you are ahead of the curve. Okay. Mm-hmm. But the sad truth is the vast majority of us, I think the last statistic I read was like 95% of most people are working in jobs that they can't stand, right? Mm-hmm. And they do it for a paycheck, right? If you're part of that 95 percentile, right, your current 9 to 5 does have a purpose. I'm not telling you to quit, but it should be seed to your future, right? I use my current employment, if we're going to quote Dr. Miles Monroe, employment versus deployment. My current employment, right? That's seed money for my deployment, right? I'm investing that to get away from there. You understand? I'm not using that. Don't use it as your sole source because you'll find yourself in a trap that I was in for 17 years with CPD, right? Mm-hmm. Where that was my sole source of provision. And I felt like a freaking prisoner in a job that was killing me, literally. So,
and I'm glad you brought that point too, because a lot of times people think it's either one or. Like you don't have to leave your job in order for you to start something on the side. You don't have to. You don't. Like you can literally on the weekends find something, find a hobby, find something that makes money. From 9 to 5, go pay your bills, go do your whatever.
Start that YouTube channel. Start that thing.
Right. From 5 to 10, 5 to 11, 5 to 12. You're doing your own thing. Like, build your own thing on the side.
Well, I like how Barry Vaynerchuk says, okay, you say you want to do something and you're at a 9 to 5. Don't leave your 9 to 5, but what about your 5 to 9? Your thing should be your 5 to 9. You so focused on the 9 to 5, you're ignoring your 5 to 9. The 5 to 9 is your time to build your thing, right? And many of us are not using our 5 to 9. You've known me for years. My 5 to 9 has been filled, right? And it's a process. You chip away at it. If you're looking for a quick payday, play the lottery and good luck with that. No, seriously, right? It's a process. It's a process. Billy has been in my journey for the past, 5 or 6 years, right? And he's seen me chip away gradually to build my things, right? And when you look up and now it's like, oh my gosh, these things are coming to fruition, right? It's a process. Embrace the process. Embrace the process. If it's so, my son Jordan, he's going to be the third member of the crew on the Marked Man, but he's the one I mentioned earlier that's doing Forge. It was a process. I had to feed him his first clients. Do you understand? Now my man's looking at buying a house. We're looking at getting a building, getting a new car. You understand? He's 25 years old, right? But it was a chipping away. He built his skill set. He started really investing in his craft, learning the trade, right? And he's still, mind you, he's not a boss yet. And this is what I tell people. He's an entrepreneur, right? I know I'm going to get some flack for this, but this is my own philosophy. All right. And I had a conversation with a car dealer a couple of weeks ago. Right. We were at a car dealership and he's a friend of ours. Right. We get all our cars from him. This guy's amazing. Right. He sells us the cars well below blue book value. Okay. Really good dude, a Middle Eastern brother. And I had the same conversation I had with another brother several years ago who owns a busing company. And here's how that conversation goes. I'm sitting there. I'm like, we're driving. He's driving the bus. And we're chit-chatting, blah, 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 on this long trip with my wife's school nonprofit she works for. And he says, he makes this comment. And, Billy, nothing gets past me. I'll put a pin in it and I'll come back to it, right? And he makes this comment and he says, hey, Brother Ross, he says, because, Perry, I'm the boss. I got to do that. I said, pause. You are not the boss, right? And he actually, and it's funny because the Middle Eastern car dealerships guy said the same thing. I'm not dropping any names because I don't like, unless they give me permission to, all right? But he actually got offended. I said, you're not the boss. What do you mean I'm not the boss? You're sitting in my office? Does my car's out there? I said, you know why you're not the boss? I said, because you're here. I said, if you're not here, the entity doesn't make any money.
It doesn't make
You're making money for it. It's not making money for you. Exactly. Right? And when I said that to him, he backed all the way down. I said, if you're really the boss, you will have duplicated yourself and had systems in place where you don't have to be here for it to earn for you. I told my guy on the bus, I said, you're an entrepreneur, yes, which is great. You're already ahead of 80% of most people, right? Just taking those leaps and taking those and investing and betting on you, right? Let's not belittle the accomplishment of that, but also let's not be delusional to where we are in the process. That's the mistake that a lot of people make, is they're prematurely delusional of where they are in the process. And I said, no, you're not a boss, brother. He said, what you mean, Perry? I'm not the boss, man. I got 3 buses. I said, because you're driving this bus. I said, you're driving this bus. I said, what would you rather be doing? Unless you rather be driving the bus. He's like, I'd rather be fishing. I said, I know you would rather be fishing. I said, you're the boss when you control your day and your entity's making money for you. Right. So like, even when I use Jordan as an example, as good as he's doing, but he's my son. He's growing up with this information. And I wish my dad was in a position to give me this information. And it's a harsh reality. He's still pulling 10, 12-hour days. People see the how he's doing financially, but he's time poor. He's time poor because he's the number one employee of Forge. Forge is the boss. You're just the number one employee. You understand?
Somebody said it this way today. Like I think it was he said that take your cash. I mean, that's kind of like it's almost like we talking about like next level after you kind of like make money and all this stuff. So you take your cash,
right?
You buy assets,
right?
And so that asset that produce the cash again,
right?
That's what you live off of, right?
When your cash is making babies,
you take cash, buy more assets, and that's what I was like. You buy assets like in real estate. You buy assets like.
Right.
I know a couple of people who have vending machines businesses. I know people who have reseller businesses.
Right.
They just take the cash from one business, buy an asset, use that cash for their living, and it requires patience, right? Because when you get that first amount of cash, you literally want to run around and be like, "Hey, I got money, I'm done." But no, can that cash still generate more cash? You don't stop there, right?
That's true.
So, cash, asset, cash, asset, cash. That's the blueprint, man. I love it, man.
And so, brothers, we're not gonna stay on here much longer. I wanted to give you a taste of the value that Billy's going to be bringing to the Marked Man. Like I said, we're covering all aspects of being better men, no matter how that looks for us. Being better in the kitchen, being better in the bedroom, being better in the gym, being better, being better in your spiritual walk, right? Being better in your relationships. We're covering all of it. And Billy, trust me, though we've talked about finances, there's layers to this brother. This brother is a living onion. Okay, this brother is a living chocolate onion. Okay, he's got layers. He's got layers, and you're going to have access to all of his layers as we move forward. Because Billy, tell him about what you're going to be doing for us on Wednesdays.
So on Wednesdays, I really want to be able to share different strategies for for building wealth. What is to be starting from zero. I want to be able to bring some of the people that I work with, some people who are actually mentoring me. I want to bring them over, and those are people who like mentoring thousands of people. What I mean, like they legit know what they're talking about. These are people who have, as we say in the Bible, people who have fruits under their trees. Like
Right.
they have fruits, they have proven fruits. They don't have to do this, but they're willing to share knowledge. They're willing to be out here and talk to people and understand, have people understand there's literally a process out there that you can follow to create wealth, not just for you but for your family and for generations to come. You know what I mean? So I can't wait to be able to share those information with you guys, bring those people in, even in on my part, my journey to getting my first property. I mean, that was a whole exciting journey that I have to endure and to go through. And we're finally excited to be able to get it, but now we're looking forward to the next one. So what's that process looks like?
Right.
I mean, I want to talk to you guys about stocks. Like, I feel like that's a money printing machine that a lot of us don't know about. A lot of us don't even utilize it. You know what I mean? So I want to talk to you guys about that. I want to show you guys how you can utilize those things and be able to generate some cash flow on the side, even while you're still working your job. You know what I mean? So on Wednesdays, that's what I want to be able to present to everybody.
So on Whattup Wednesdays, we're going to have a segment called Wealth Building Wednesdays, right? Yes. Where Billy's going to be sharing his process, his journey. And once again, billionaire Billy, he ain't a billionaire yet. Get him before he gets there. Get him before he gets there.
It's a mindset, right?
It's a mindset. Absolutely. Yes. Absolutely. And all this information right now, you guys are able to get it for nothing. That may change as we grow. Because, when things grow, they got to be fed, right? Right? Just like a baby. When babies grow, Markman is still a baby. So right now, it doesn't take a whole lot to feed it, right? But
I'm glad you brought that point, too, because you and I both know we paid thousands of dollars for
courses. Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? So, honestly, I want to share this information, and I hope people don't take it lightly, because this is something that we could be charging for. But I don't want to charge people for it, because this is knowledge.
It's knowledge.
If I can give you those knowledge and you're able to better your family and stuff.
Absolutely.
Do it, man. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And understand, brothers, when I say as it grows, I'm not talking about for financial gain. See, there's things that I have planned for the Marksman. I want events, right? Soon as I want to have seminars, I want to have pop-ups and courses, right? Live events that you all can participate in, but they have to be funded. And like Billy already said, where I am right now in my process with Kapow, with the Marked Man, with Marriage Impossible, the equipment that I'm recording in, I have spent thousands on equipment and then learning how to build something that has value, right? From books. You guys know I read a book a month. Yes, I use a library, but if I like a book, I end up buying it and adding it to the library, to my personal library. This information has value. And so right now you're getting it, and this is not a COVID special. This is just where we are in our journey. This is just where we are in our journey with the Marked Man. If you're part of this family, a part of this group, you are in a good time. If you think you have somebody that may be interested, it is a private Facebook group as it stands right now. I'm fleshing out themarkedman.com, right? We're going to be doing the podcast. The podcast will probably end up launching early August. Okay, and it'll probably be bi-weekly, one episode every 2 weeks. But we want to start giving you content, giving you value. If you have questions, hit me up, right? I want to know what's on your mind. Many of you guys call me privately, though I appreciate it. My schedule is filling up, right? And if I'll be honest with you, I don't have a lot of free time, and if I have it to you, I give it to you. But I read everything. I read and respond to everything. If you have a question, you have a concern, if you have a sticking point, marriage, finance, fitness, the whole 9 yards. Jordan's not here. I wanted him here, but Jordan's going to be doing Forge Fitness Fridays, right? Where you're going to get a fit tip, right? You're going to get some. He's in school for physical therapy. He's one of the top trainers in the area. He just happens to be my son, right? But he's grown up in the gym literally because I've raised him there. And his fitness IQ is through the roof. Do you understand me? And he is killing the game when many other fitness professionals are starving. He's feasting, okay? And so don't let his age fool you. He's 25, but he's got some things to say. And though he's not arrived, you get the chance to piggyback and glean from the journey.
Right now.
Right? Glean from the journey. Don't despise the process, people. And so with that being said, Billy's going. He's one of the admins here on the Marked Man. He will be posting. He has full access. He's going to be doing some great things. I'm excited that it's not just me anymore. But it was never intended to be just me. For those of you who all know, the Marked Man started off as a private text group on my cell phone with brothers who had things of value that I needed, quotes, videos, what they're reading, how they're processing discoveries. And it grew to the point where I got tired of checking my phone on texts, right? And so that's why we did the Marked Man. So know this, you all have access to share. That's what this is about. This is really about iron sharpening iron, right? It really is. Good men helping good men be better men. And there's no one in here. If you're not a good man, trust me, you wouldn't be in here. All right. So I want to thank you guys. I want to thank Billy. Let him go along with his day. I got a honeydew to do today. I got a whole bunch of honeydews to do. Right. You know, me and the wifey, we had a meeting of the minds this morning, and so I gotta catch up on some honeydew stuff because I'm down here in the lab all the time trying to grow this stuff. This is what there is no COVID pandemic for me. I am working from home, literally 10, 12-hour days, but be expecting more good stuff from the Marked Man. We got Billy. We're going to have Jordan on next. And, man, listen, if you have something about, if you want to sit and you want to talk, let me know. We'll schedule to be on here live. Yes. If you got a question, I want everyone to know who's in here. We got some quality brothers in here, man. I'm telling you. I'm looking at the audience. I think we had like 125 now, or 124. Not a bum in the bunch. I'm telling you. Not a bum. I don't do bums. I don't do bums, okay? If anybody who knows me, y'all know I'm raw, I'm real. I do not do bums. No bums allowed in my circle, okay? Mm-hmm. This is part of my circle, all right? And so if you're here for a purpose, so let's get on purpose. And so with that being said, I'm Dr. Perry, signing out from the Marked Man. Thank you, Billy. You will be seeing more from him, and we love you guys. Stay blessed, stay safe, and stay on purpose. God bless.